Many digital markets are characterized by competition between platforms. Platforms try to attract buyers and sellers. In many markets, however, on the seller side of the market, there is heterogeneity. Think about competition between PlayStation and Nintendo. You have a competition between these two console makers for consumers and for game developers. But the game developer side of the market is particularly heterogeneous. There are some independent developers, they are very small, and there are some big developers that are producing superstar products. Think about Call of Duty. In this paper, we try to study and understand the incentives of superstars to be exclusive on one platform or non-exclusive on more than one platform. What is the trade-off here for the superstar? By signing an exclusive contract, the superstar can ask for a very remunerative compensation because the product of the superstar will be available only for some users. On the other hand, by signing a non-exclusive contract, the superstar will be available on more consoles, on more platforms, which will boost market reach. In the paper, we show that the superstar will have incentives to sign exclusive contracts when the competition between the two platforms is very intense. And the reason is that when competition between Nintendo and Sony, for example, is particularly intense, consumers will be very mobile. They will be switching from one console maker, from console, to the other one, following the superstar. This will generate an effect on the game developer side of the market, where many other game developers will now enter the market, and this will generate value. The superstar, by signing an exclusive contract, can try to monetize this additional value and be willing to give up a larger market reach. When the competition between the two platforms, between the two consoles, is not so intense, only fewer consumers will move, which will dampen the effect on the complementors side of the market, the seller side of the market, on the game developer side of the market, and therefore there will be little value to be extracted by the superstar by signing an exclusive contract. As a consequence of this, the superstar will prefer to be available for all users. The next step is to try to understand whether exclusive contracts are bad or not. And there is a lot of discussion. In traditional markets where you have one-sided interactions between buyers and sellers, exclusive contracts are typically considered as detrimental to consumers. However, in these markets where there is intermediation by platforms, this is not necessarily the case. And we showed that exclusive contracts between the superstar and a platform might even be good for the consumers. And this will be particularly the case when there are very strong network externalities, when consumers care a lot about how many game developers are present on the other side of the market. However, there will also be circumstances in which consumer surplus, the benefits for consumers are lower, and therefore consumers would prefer the superstar to be non-exclusive. Finally, we try to tackle another question. What happens on the incentives to be exclusive when there is an acquisition? Think, for example, at the case in which a platform is acquiring a superstar. Recently, Microsoft has decided to acquire Activision, the producer of a superstar game, Call of Duty. Now, we try to understand whether following an acquisition, exclusivity will be present more often or less often than in the case in which the platform and the superstar are independent. And surprisingly, we find that there are circumstances in which the merged entity, the platform and the superstar, will jointly decide to be less exclusive than under vertical separation. So our results are particularly important for ongoing investigations and to understand whether exclusive contracts in digital markets can be detrimental or not to consumers and complementary.